Heard Clay Helton talk about him this week as they prepared for Utah's. His ability on the back end to be able to disrupt plays and really be the last line of defense for the Utah defense.
Didn't get enough to consider going for it, so Chris Tilby will punt it to Booby Hobbs. First USC punt of the night is a short one, but it takes a good Trojan bounce to the 6. So Troy Williams in this Utah offense in front of the Muss and a 41st consecutive sellout crowd in Salt Lake, trying to lead a fourth quarter drive. FS1 College Football is presented by Geico. This has been a good one. Joe Davis, Brady Quinn, Jenny Taft back here in Salt Lake City. And back-to-back touchdown drives for the Utes. They're within 3 and have it with 5:37 to go.
Everything's still in the playbook, plenty of time. Still focus on that running game. Utilize the play action pass. I'd be surprised if Troy Williams uses his legs a little bit too.
From the 7. Start with a pass play. Down the sideline, Raylan Singleton can't get it. Underthrown, and Iman Marshall knocked it away. 2nd and 10.
Adoree Jackson gets a lot of credit. Iman Marshall is a good cover corner as well. See him get a hand in there late, able to break it up. Ball a bit behind. Singleton tried to cut into the football. Marshall talked about the fact that he likes when he knows who Adoree Jackson's going to have, because he can focus more on his opponent, study him all week long.
Back-to-back throws. Another deep ball, and this one not close. Incidental contact. Tim Patrick defended by Jackson. You surprised to see back-to-back throws to begin this drive?
Well, I mean, look, there's an opportunity there. You know, in both cases, I think Singleton was open. The ball was a little bit behind. And a good play by Marshall in that particular case. The ball too far out in front. Usually Williams does a much better job of throwing a more catchable ball and at least allowing Patrick to make a play. Now it puts them in 3rd and long. You can almost assure yourself they're going to be throwing again.
Tight end Harrison Hanley motions into the formation, helps block for Williams. Goes to the outside, and pass interference is going to extend this drive. That was the freshman, C.O.C. Wilson, who got tossed down by Marshall.
Pass interference, number 8 is a defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Marshall just came away with a good play before. Look at the one-on-one matchup. Troy Williams going to him the entire way on a comeback route, and clearly Marshall grabs the back of Wilson's shoulder pads and pulls him down. And these are the sorts of mistakes that you just can't make if you're a USC defense. It's what's plagued them so far this year.
So the drive continues instead of USC getting it back with a chance to run some clock. 5:19 left and a first down from the 22. On the slant, on the money. First down to the 35. It's Tim Patrick.
The best part about that play, it wasn't Tim Patrick with the throw and all that. It was the offensive line of Utah. They cut down the defensive line of USC, and it allowed Troy Williams to have an easy passing lane.
The line has done a nice job not allowing a sack against USC so far. Inside of 5 minutes now. First run play of the drive, and Zach Moss finds Porter Gustin waiting for him on a gain of 2. Troy Williams, who grew up in Southern California, rooting for USC, hoping that he could one day play for the Trojans, but USC never recruited him, even though he was a highly touted high school player. Started at Washington, transferred to a JUCO, now in his first year at Utah and trying to beat his boyhood favorite team. On 2nd and 8, scans the field, finds his man along the sideline. It's Patrick again. And it looks like enough for a first down.
These two have been battling all night, one-on-one. Adoree Jackson and Tim Patrick shake off the line of scrimmage. And you see how big Patrick is. And he's just able to get enough separation. He's got such a big catch radius. Troy Williams can put the football up at high points that Adoree Jackson just can't get to.
And they're actually going to measure this. Spot makes it really close. So the first down or third and about a foot. Come all the way over to the other side of the field to measure it.
I just looked at Tim Patrick's night. He's got a couple drops too. His numbers could be even bigger.
Crowd tells you first down, 4:03 to go in a 3-point game.
Utah right now just methodically working the ball down the field. Had the assist from the pass interference by Amon Marshall earlier in the drive. But again, plenty of time. Still running the football, but taking advantage of a lot of soft coverage on the outside in the passing game.
Yeah, 4 of the 5 plays on this drive have been passes, even though, as you mentioned, full playbook at their disposal. Inside of 4 minutes, and on first down from the 45, they'll throw again, taking advantage of the soft spots in the middle of the USC defense. Moiai for 9.
And it just looks like there's Velcro on that football. And Troy Williams is just putting it on the body of his wide receivers, and in that case, a tight end, but very accurate so far.
And they had spotted him what looked like short, and now the far side official will say move him. It is a first down. Williams to throw again. He's got Patrick running behind Jackson, but overshot him.
You got to wonder if some of these missed opportunities from these shots downfield, in this case, it's Troy Williams with the overthrow. That's happened a couple times. Patrick had a couple drops early in their game for big gains, but the types of plays you've got to be able to make. If you're a quarterback, 3 minutes left in the game, give him a chance to make a play on the football.
Troy McCormick comes in at running back, 2nd and 10. From the 44. Well protected again. Tight coverage and incomplete. Jonathan Lockett was called for a pass interference earlier tonight. Here, solid coverage, 3rd and 10. Corey Butler-Bird is intended receiver.
Almost assuredly, this is a 4-down situation here because they're not in field goal range. And even if they had some sort of gain on 3rd down, it's still to be too far for Andy Phillips to give it a try, I would think.
His career long is 53, so they need to get to the 36 to have a chance at that.
If you look at their last drive, they did go for it on a 4th and 1 that ended up in a touchdown. So you got to think that Kyle Whittingham would look to do it again.
Utah has taken their first timeout of the
First one used by the Utes. 3rd and 10 when you come back. Well, what a great finish we've got coming for you. Joe Davis and Brady Quinn. Utah started this drive back inside its own 10 on the move, and now looking at a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, 7 passes, 1 run on this drive, really relying heavily on the arm of Troy Williams. And this is probably 4-down territory. I would imagine if they don't pick this up, they're still going to go for it, being that they're out of field goal range.
McCormick motions out, so an empty set. And on 3rd and 10, a late whistle with a flag flying. And it looks like it's going to go on Utah.
Before the snap, false start, number 72 of the offense. Quadrat penalty, 3rd down.
And so instead of 3rd and 10, it's 3rd and 15 with 3.5 left.
USC was looking to bring an all-out blitz. Bowles got a little bit tied up in who his responsibility was. Unfortunately, jumped off the snap a little bit too early.
USC's defense trying to come up with a stop. You get the Trojans to 2-2. On 3rd and 15, Williams well protected. Throwing sideline, close to the first down. We'll see him with a spot railing Singleton. Yellow line is unofficial.
Well, USC was playing a zone coverage. So now it's a Dory Jackson matched up on Singleton on the outside. And this is purely a timing route. The ball delivered on time, on the money. But not enough for the first down. We find Utah once again in a 4th and 1 situation. Too far to take a field goal to tie this game up.
Spotted him just barely short. They've converted both 4th downs tonight. Straight ahead, Armand Shine keeps Utah's hopes alive.
When you've got a running quarterback like Troy Williams, you have to account for him in your run defense. The issue with that is there's just not enough bodies down around the line of scrimmage unless you devote everyone. And it leaves your secondary in one-on-one coverage on the outside. They've been burnt a number of times, so you don't want to put them in that position.
2:20 and counting. Run that play clock down. It's a bubble screen and it's incomplete. Out in front of Butler Bird, 2nd and 10. 2 years ago, when USC was here in Salt Lake City, it was a blackout night as well. USC had a late lead. Travis Wilson led Utah down the field for the game-winning score in the final seconds. Troy Williams trying to do the same here in 2016.
This is where you got to have a short-term memory. You got to flush that last play and that last throw. Very uncharacteristic of Troy Williams on this drive. He's been pretty much on the money.
They are now within Andy Phillips' field goal range. Throwing the slant again. And riding that route down the field. Tim Patrick sets up 3rd and short.
Well, they ran Armand Shine, the running back, to the flat. Troy Williams pumped, and it actually moved the USC defender to open up the window for Tim Patrick. And once again, Troy Williams put it right on the money.
You saw Patrick comes off of the field. There's the man they call Automatic Andy. Utah would love to see him next on an extra point. Not rely on him to tie the game. 3rd and 1. Williams keeps it. Cam Smith yanks him down. It'll be 4th and 1. Do they kick to tie or do they go for it?
We saw this in a previous drive. Watch the left side of the screen. Porter Gustin and Cameron Smith do a good job having each man assigned for the quarterback as well as the running back in the zone read scheme. Forced the indecision of Troy Williams, and once again, another 4th down. Kyle Whittingham's choosing to go for it instead of trying to take a chance at a field goal.
As it winds inside of a minute. And they go out of the shotgun on 4th and inches. Moss straight ahead. 1st down Utah. .42 seconds. 2 timeouts left for the Utes. 1 for USC.
Really, Utah with complete control of this game. Still 2 timeouts. They can try to take a shot here, or they can be conservative, run the football, and center the ball for a field goal kicker, Andy Phillips.
A lot of time running off. Williams to throw. Looking in zone. Lets it fly. And it's caught. Touchdown Utah. Tim Patrick.
Well, if you're wondering how there's so much separation, watch Adoree Jackson's feet. He ends up losing a shoe, loses his footing. And the ball was again on target, on the money for the touchdown to go ahead.
after a 4th down and 1 conversion. Tim Patrick from Troy Williams. A drive that began inside Utah's own 10 finishes with a go-ahead score with 16 seconds.
Troy Williams going there the entire way. Had to hesitate a half second because it was press man-to-man coverage, so the timing's not going to be perfect. There, you can see the separation with Patrick and Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson won the push-off. Again, it's hard when you only got one shoe on a slick field in a rainy environment like this. Think Jim Harding's fired up?
I'd say. And right now, heartbreak for USC. It'll be interesting to see where they put Adoree Jackson on this kick return, as Utah will try and keep it away from him.
I would expect a squib. There's no way they're going to allow this football to go in the hands of Adoree Jackson after already having one return for a touchdown tonight.
Andy Phillips. It's a line drive kick taken by Stephen Mitchell. Stephen Mitchell has some room. And USC will have it at the 39-yard line with 8 seconds and 1 timeout.
So here's the scenario. Sam Darnold, the redshirt freshman. He's got 8 seconds and 1 timeout. Here's what they can do on offense. They can take a shot somewhere around the middle of the field, probably no deeper than 20 yards, 10 yards, something like that. They can then immediately call a timeout to set up a Hail Mary play. They could also try throwing a shot for the sidelines, but I would imagine Utah would try to defend the sidelines not to allow them to do that.
Winding those arms up like he's ready to chuck it. 3 players back around the goal line for Utah. Darnold, this is going to have to be it. Darnold scrambling, extending the play. Says a prayer, and Juju Smith-Schuster's got it. He flips it back to a lineman who goes down. Zach Banner held on to it and was tackled to finish it. Utah does it with a 15-play, 93-yard drive that lasted more than 5 minutes.
Unbelievable. Only a 3-man rush, but Utah adds a 4th rusher at the end. That's Tautioli. And what it does is it forces Sam Darnold to use up all the time. They had Juju Smith-Schuster sitting around the middle of the field as an option to advance the ball, to get him closer, take another shot. But because of Sam Darnold wasting so much time scrambling around, it ended up having to be the last play.
We go down into that mess with Jenny Taft.
Well, Coach, it really doesn't get better than this with that comeback and the composure you guys showed in the 4th quarter. What can you say about the team's overall performance?
Well, just great job by our guys. We never flinched, kept playing through good and bad. Troy Williams, what composure he had in those last few drives. Incredible the way he handled himself. Receivers making plays, offensive line, numerous 4th and shorts, converted them all. And defense had enough in the tank to get it done.
What was the biggest difference with Williams? No interceptions and those 2 touchdowns tonight.
He's just getting better and better. You know, he's only had 3 starts with us prior to tonight, 4 total in his college career at the Division I level, and he just continues to get better.
Last year, USC upset you. Does this win have a lot to do with redemption for you guys?
Well, I don't know about redemption, but it's good to get off to 1-0 start in Pac-12 play.
Okay, appreciate your time, and go enjoy this.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys.
All right, Jenny, they converted a pair of 4th downs on that drive, and they moved to 4-0 for the 4th consecutive season. Right now, we get you back to Rob Stone in Los Angeles.